Hello viewers, welcome to My Skills, My Future. Hope you are all doing fine. Right, hit a thumbs up if you can hear me properly. Right, I could see some messages here. Akbar, hi Akbar, how are you doing? Right, so today's session is totally on how Packet Tracer boosts your CCNA learning. I guess most of you all are into CCNA already. Just in case if you're not into CCNA, let me say you CCNA is a basic structure or basic certification that helps you to fetch a networking job. Okay, so CCNA is the first certification that helps you to fetch a networking job. So CCNA focuses on what is happening behind your computer or a mobile device till the point it reaches a server or an other end computer. Right, so that means it's all the backend part, which devices are connected, how they are acting and all. Now when we talk in a general sense, let's not go into the corporate sector and all those things, real-time offices, but let me just talk in terms of a simple household network. So when you just see a, what you say, a computer or your mobile, at the back you see a router. So when you open any page, let's say google.com, so the data first goes to the router, correct, wireless router which is in your home. From there, through a cable, it goes to your internet service provider. So we are all focusing on how this data is traveling at once from your mobile to the router, from there to the ISP network, from ISP network to your Google server or whatever the website you are looking for that particular server. So there might be n number of intermediate devices, like 10 routers to 20 routers, then so on, right? So a firewall and all those. So CCNA focuses on all these concepts like routing, switching, network automation, and also the security. Yeah, hi, good evening all. Good to see you here. So as I said, CCNA focuses on routing part, that is how routers transmit the data, what are the protocols it uses, and what are the switches that we need, what type of switches we need, what configurations we do there, right? And also what sort of firewalls we need to use. All those will come into the CCNA level. Previously, there was separate certifications for routing and switching, separate certification for wireless devices, separate certification for security. But now it's all in one certification, that is CCNA. So there are no branches of CCNA. So it's only one certification where you would be focusing on routing and switching, also wireless devices, network automation, and firewalls, that is security. So now, if I want to take up a CCNA certification, let's assume if I want to take up a CCNA certification, I need to know how a router works, how I can configure a router, right? How to assign an IP address, how we can give a protocol into the router or a switch or a firewall, or what I need to know how to use a firewall, how to connect it to the computer, right? So in general sense, if we talk, right, we can't able to purchase all the routers and setups required for our practice. Do you agree my point? Right, it is very difficult to purchase whatever the routers you want or whatever the switches you want and connect them in real time, because they are very costly and most of us may not be able to afford it, right? So it's very costly, and just for the sake of practice you can't buy the routers and keep it in your home, right? So you need to, that is very difficult for you. Do you agree my point? So if you want to do some certification, you need to practice on the routers or other networking devices. So now it is very difficult for us to buy. So there are many simulators that are in the market that helps you to simulate the performance of your routers. Now, for example, you go to a mall and you see some cars or bikes there. When you ride a bike, you get the feel of riding a bike, but it's not an original bike. It's a simulation, correct? You see a simulator in front of you and which shows all the obstacles and all, right? Agree? So it is simulating the functionality like acceleration, brake, tilt, and all those of the byte, turnings of the byte. So it is a simulator. Same way, to simulate and configure the routers, switches and firewalls, okay, we would be using multiple simulation softwares. Hope you are getting my point, right? So hit a thumbs up if you are getting the point, right? So I would be using the more simulation softwares. So this simulation softwares helps me to understand what sort of routers goes with what sort of configurations, what sort of switches goes with what sort of configurations, how the data moves from a router to a switch, or router to a router, or router to a firewall, or now even before, sometimes even before I build one network, I first simulate and test what are the loopholes present in it, and then I will implement in the real time. So my simulation software is reducing the load of purchasing all the components required for the practice. Okay, so it is reducing the need and your cost for preparation. Now, the many simulation softwares like your Cisco Packet Tracer or any other ones, right? Net Simulator, etc., etc. You have n number of simulators, and you have even GNS3 and all, right? So now, my point is, why should we go with Cisco Packet Tracer? Because I was saying how to boost your Ccna preparation with the help of packet tracer. So one advantage is that I can go with the any simulator, so that I cannot purchase, or I should not purchase any components, but I can get the practice. So that advantage is present with all the simulators. Correct? Right. So that advantage is present with all the simulators. Then why particularly CCNA? I mean, sorry, why particularly Cisco Packet Tracer? The only reason is that the options and the user friendliness, the options that are provided by the Cisco and the user friendliness, that makes my Cisco Packet Tracer more efficient tool than any others. Okay, so remember, this is for beginners I'm talking about. If you are an expertise, okay, there are many options that are not available on the Packet Tracer. Hit a star mark on it. Okay, if you are an expert, there are many options that are not available on the Packet Tracer, or maybe other simulators. But if you are a beginner and if you want to start your career with the networking, that is how routers or switches or what about the scenes behind your computers, okay, then Packet Tracer is one of the best tools. Okay, so if you are experienced and if you are learning or doing some real-time projects and anything, so some features of packet tracer might be helpful or some may not be helpful. That's different story. But if you are learning, my focus is to say that if you are learning, packet tracer is the best. And don't take me wrong, Cisco is not going to provide me anything to say or promote their product of packet tracer. It's already in the market, and many network engineers who starts their career use this free tool, right? So if you want to download and install the packet tracer, I would recommend you to go to netcat.com, and there you log in with your credentials or sign up for a new account, and you can obviously download a packet tracer. So in this particular video, I'm not focusing on how to use the packet tracer. I'm talking about the options that will help you to boost your learning. So that means I'm not saying like, okay, if you want to connect a router, use this option. If you want to connect a PC, use this option. I'm not focusing on that. We are making a different video sets for each and everything. So there would be a separate video for installation of packet tracer and how to use the packet tracer in our future comings. But this video is focused on totally how best you can learn from the packet tracer. So without talking, let me start showing you what is the advantage of having the packet tracer. Right. So I'm taking a simple switch network here, and as I said, don't worry about the networks or configurations. Just focus on the applications and advantages of the packet tracer. So if you don't know the configuration, it's fine. You don't know what is switch, it's fine. It's also fine if you don't understand what is the functionality of the switch or what I'm trying to do in the configuration part, because we are focusing here only on the how best you can utilize it. So right, so now let me just move ahead again, and let me take some 2 to 3 pieces. Okay, so the first thing is like, now let me say is the first advantage. I'm not sure as an administrator or a beginner, I'm not sure which cable to be connected. So I'm not sure how which cable to be used using a connection to connect a switch to a computer. So what I can do is I have something called auto cable. I have something called auto cable. So I can select it and paste it to my computers. I can select it and paste it to my computers. So if you have a basic knowledge if you have a basic knowledge on what type of cables you have, by seeing this itself, you can say that the cable is a straight cable. And remember, I'm not focusing on whether it's a straight cable or cross cable. I'm saying that if you don't know which cable to be used, you can select the auto cable option. So no need to focus on which cable to be used. Hope you're following me. Right. So let me quickly give some IP addresses to show more advantages. So I'm not following any particular series or something. I'm just randomly giving the IPs as I'm just randomly giving the IPs as 10.0.0.1. So, oops, sorry, it's a typo. Right. So now I have given the IP addresses. Okay. So now I'm not sure how this topology. Now, if you want to send a data from my PC0 present here to PC2, I'm not sure how it is going to travel. Just for example, what are the protocols involved? I'm not sure. So what I can do, instead of using the ping command, I can just keep this in the simulation mode. Remember, I'm not using any technical terms again. I'm just keeping in the simulation mode, and I have a packet here, taking it up and placing between my source and destination. Right. So simulation option is known to everyone. It's a common thing. It's not a new thing. Right. But how this will be impactful or more useful for a learner? Very simple. Now I have seen when I selected a packet and placed it between PC0 and PC2, it's giving me two different packets. So I want to know how the communication is happening between PC0 and PC2. And as a beginner, I am not sure of each and everything. Now here I see the packets. At this side, I can see that the first one is like using the ICMP type and the second one is the ARP. Right. So let me click on this first, ARP or ACMP, whatever you want. So it gives me the information of each and every layer present. Yeah, good evening all. Welcome back again. So thanks for joining us. So I'm saying, talking about the advantages of using the Cisco packet tracer and how effectively you can implement and to boost your CCNA preparations. So now when I click on this, this shows me about all the 7 layers of OSI and its related information. Remember, when I hit on any packet, it shows me the information of each and everything. Now from the computer, I'm sending the data. That means I would be having only out layers, no in layers. Remember, I would be having only out layers, no, because it is sending the data, so it's not getting anything. So I can study, okay, I can select on the layer, it says fast Ethernet center of the frame. And remember, when you're sending the data, always suggested to read from top to bottom. When you're receiving the data, that is, when you're reading in layers, read from layer 1 to layer 7. When you're sending the data, when you're checking out for the out layers, read from layer 7 to layer 1, whatever is available. So I'm running from layer 2. So the ARP process constructs a request for the target IP address. So it is writing that, okay, I'm not sure why it is generating ARP. So let me just go on this purple packet, that is ICMP. So as I said, it's out layer, so I'm starting from layer 3. So the ping process starts the next ping request. Remember, the ping is nothing but a connection establishment. That means you are trying to say hello and you are trying to get a reply. Okay. So now ICMP protocol is used for pinging. So this is not the scope. The protocols are not the scope, but I'm just trying to show you how this content would be helpful. So I'm just saying that, okay, there is a new ping process started. I'm not sure what is ping is. Okay, leave it. Right. So the ping process creates an ICMP echo request. It's stating that it sets a request message and sends it to the next processes. So it is sending a ICMP echo. Right. So the source IP is not specified. So the device sets the port's source IP address. Now what it is saying, the third point, it is like the source IP address is not specified. That means I am not specifying any source IP address. So what it does, whatever the port it has, it sets its own IP address there automatically. Hope you're following me up. Right. So now once it sets by source IP address, see, I'm not sure of, I'm not knowing anything. But now by seeing this information, whatever I learned theoretically, see, I'm not trying to explain you something, but I'm saying that whatever I learned theoretically, I can visualize very practically here. Getting? You have any questions from your side? Right. So I'm not sure what I'm learning. Okay, well, I've heard something theoretically, but I heard that ping sends a packet from my source to the destination and source replies back so that I can get a communication. That's what we would be taught. But now, when I keep in the simulation, I can see the packet movement. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I could see and read at each and every stage. That's the best advantage. So you can learn more than just reading. Okay, now let's say let me pass the packet. So we all know blindly that there is only one way. So it sends to the next stage. So let me check what information is present in this particular green packet again. Now at this stage, you have both incoming and outgoing, because to the switch, one port is coming and other port it is sending out. Correct? So I have in layers. So in layers need to be read from top to bottom. So layer 1, then layer 2. Out layers should be read from top to bottom for the out layers, and in layers you should study the matter from the layer 1 to layer 2. That okay. Yeah, Teja, Harsha, we are planning to make more videos on even CCNA. We are beginning here. So we are focusing on a batch also. We'll announce it soon. Okay. Thanks for checking. Right. So at each and every stage, now let's say my packet is failed. I don't know why it is failed. I can open it and study the information. You can, okay, you can study it here. So the ARP request target IP does not match the receiving port's IP address. So there is information. And if you are knowing the theory of it, definitely you will understand these points. So you can practically visualize and learn more in detail about these things. Clear? So the first best option is the simulation. So the first best option is simulation. More than the simulation, once I click on the packets, the information it's giving, that's more advantageous. And Harsha, as I mentioned, we are continuously uploading some new videos. So you can subscribe to our channel and you can get them updates. Okay. So now if you focus on this, so hope you all got what is the advantage of having simulation. So simulation software might be present in everyone's, but keeping this in the simulation mode, I can get an advantage of studying each and every stage. Each and every stage. So that's the first best feature with the Cisco packet tracer. Right? So simulation and the information. Right. Now, for example, there might be a case here. There are only 3 computers. I'm connecting to 3 ports. But there might be a case where I need to configure. I need to block one particular port. I need to block PC0, so that I need to block the port connected to PC0. So I need to block the connection. So when I see the network topology as a beginner, definitely you are not able to understand. Most of the cases you are not able to understand the network topology, right? So which port I'm connecting and all, I'm not sure, right? So then what we can do is, we have an option here in the options and in the preferences section. You have an option called show port labels in the logical workspace. So what is the option? Show port labels in the logical workspace. So when I select this particular point, okay, now see the difference. I'm getting the port numbers. Now I can say that, sorry. Now see, I have port numbers. Now I can blindly say that I don't know anything, but still I can say my computer is connected to fast Ethernet 0 by 1. I can blindly say that my computer PC 0 is connected to fast Ethernet 0 by 1. And this particular PC is connected to fast Ethernet 0 by 3. And remember always, I'm talking this in terms of learning. So when you're learning, when you're facing any struggles, so this is how you can get the packet help from the packet tracer. I'm not saying to follow this totally, but to boost your learning and learn it faster, you can take small help from it. But be in a position that instead of depending on these options, you on your own remember all the concepts. Remember that point. I'm not saying use these options and as a shortcut. I'm saying that use this to boost your knowledge. But once you start your learning at a particular stage, stop using these options so that you can remember and use the words or the terminologies on your own. Okay, clear? So the packet tracer options gives me to study each and every information at each and every stage. That is the best thing. And now, for example, I wanted to recheck a particular stage. I can click on this particular wherever I wanted and I can get the information too. Now, for example, I wanted to check a communication between switch and PC1. So I have here, I click on it, I get its information. Very simple. Clear? Any questions? Are you able to follow me up? Right, Harsha, if you are willing to clear your CCNA certification, right, the first thing I would suggest you is to practice more in real-time scenarios and try to understand each and every concept. So if you're facing any difficulties, we are always there to support you up. So you can hit a message on our application or a mobile app or a web link, which is provided in the description. You can message us or join our CCNA course, which is going to be started this next April. So you can join there and learn it, and you can clear your CCNA certification too. Okay. Right. So this is one option. And now even Cisco is going into the IoT and also I have a support for almost all the devices and I can see whatever I want. I can filter. Now, for example, I need some protocols. I can set up a filter here, edit filters, and I can say which protocols I wanted to see and which protocols I don't wanted to see. So that only that information would be visible here. See, okay. So if I go here, I've removed ARP. So I'm not able to see the ARP information there. So I can remove and also add. When I add, I can see the ARP related information also. See here. So I can filter some protocols and use some protocols to get the benefits. Okay. So you can focus on whatever you are studying. No need to focus on all the aspects also. So you can control that. Right. And it is always suggested to have a text or IP addresses, whichever you are going to give here. So now I have kept the 10 dot series network. Okay. So it is always sorry, it's my bad. It is always suggested to have the network's information written very clearly so that when you're facing any troubling or when you're facing that, okay, your packet is not going to the destination properly. So this information will help you to troubleshoot easily. If you're not keeping this information, you need to go on to each and every packet and you need to see. So adding up this information will make your network diagram. So in network diagram, you have logical and physical two ways. So we are talking about the logical diagram in Cisco Packet Tracer. Clear? Any questions from your side? So this is how a simple tips that will help you to boost your CCNA study. So now no other simulator will might be helpful for you to see each and every information layer by layer, or it may not be able to give you detailed configuration list. Okay, are you following me up? Okay, so to follow and get our regular updates about CCNA or any other concepts like aptitude or Python programming or IoT related videos and everything, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can get the notifications. Okay, and we are going to launch a CCNA course in coming future in the month of April. The link for the purchase of the course and everything is provided in the description, and the links for our next video, our past videos, and the playlist is also provided in the description. Hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. And sorry, I forgot to announce an important thing. Right. In the next week, we are going to organize a test, a simple networking test, okay, which will help you out to get maximum discounts of each and every topic. So currently we are running 1,000 rupees off on our course, but the test will help you to get more discounts. So without any failure, join the test on our app in the store section, download MSMF Classes app and move to the store section, and in the CCNA, you can check the test. Maybe tomorrow it would be updated. So the advantage of taking the test is the topper of the tests would be provided with more discounts. So for further information regarding the same would be provided in a day or two. So to get the updates on all the discounts, keep keep following our social media pages. Okay, thanks for joining.